What is up, everybody? You guys are tuned in to an episode of DJ Sports Play. And guys, I know it's been a while. I haven't made an episode in a little while, but I got y'all, man. And today, we're going to be discussing my top 5 NFL hot takes for the upcoming 2026-2027 season. So without further ado, let's get into it. So with my first hot take, I got the Patriots making it to the playoffs as a wild card team, going 10-7. And here's why. I know they added A.J. Brown. I know that. And they got Romeo Doubs on offense. They still got Drake May, who is an MVP caliber quarterback. I understand all of that. But they do have a much harder schedule this year. And I know last year, everyone was like, oh, they ain't make the schedule. How is it our fault that the schedule's so easy? Well, that don't matter because now you guys are going to have a way harder schedule and you guys are going to have to play better competition. Now, I still believe the Patriots are a good team. I'm not saying they're trash or anything like that. They're still going to be competitive. I'm just saying they're not going to have as many wins as they did the season before because they're going to play teams that are way more competitive. The teams that they played last year were not as competitive as the teams they're about to play this year. Now, do the Patriots still have a great head coach? Yes. Do they still have a great coaching staff? Yes. Do they still have a solid defense that's going to hold it down? Of course. But I still have questions about their own line. We already saw what happened to them in the Super Bowl. Their own line was getting pushed around pretty bad. And Drake May didn't have a lot of time to throw because Mike McDonald was sitting that blitz. And he was very hesitant. He was late on a lot of throws. So that's why I feel like the Patriots are probably not going to have as many wins, and they're going to only have 10 wins, and they're probably going to lose more games this year than they did last year. So, yeah, my first hot take is I got the Patriots making it in as a wild card team. All right, guys, for my second hot take, this is going to be a very hot take, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I believe this year the LA Chargers and Justin Herbert will finally win a playoff game. And here's why. They got a new OC in Mike McDaniel, and he was just with the Miami Dolphins. And he is a very creative mind, to be honest. I wanted the Ravens to pick him up as our OC, but we got Declan Doyle instead. But the Chargers, I feel like they have enough to at least make it into the wild card with the team they have. They got Quentin Johnston. They getting Rashawn Slater back to help that online. They got a solid defense, like the same as last year. They didn't make a lot of changes on the defense side of the ball besides losing Jesse Minter, but they still got a solid defense. I feel like the defense, if anything, is going to carry them to that wild card spot. And they still got talent on the offensive side of the ball. And I feel like if the Chargers can just win some games, win some trap games against like better teams, they're going to sneak their way in. Justin Herbert is not a bad quarterback at all. And their own line isn't, I mean, it was not as good last year because they lost Slater, but he's coming back. And if he's healthy, they have a solid own line again. But I just feel like if they do enough and they get enough wins in their division, then they going to make the playoffs as a wild card team. And depending on who they play first round, if they get a likable matchup, then I have a feeling that they could finally win a playoff game. But it's all going to come down to, can Justin Herbert play well, and can the team play well? Justin Herbert doesn't have a playoff win yet, and he does need to silence the critics. He has a lot to prove this year because everyone's like, oh, Justin Herbert can't win a playoff game. Oh, he chokes too much when the lights are the brightest. Oh, he can't do this and that when the pressure's on him. He got to prove them wrong because if he doesn't, then it's going to be the same conversation all over again. Oh, the Chargers got eliminated first round. And they're going to blame it on Justin Herbert, even though it's a team game. They do the same thing to Lamar and all the other QBs who don't get it done and make it to the Super Bowl. So if they don't get it done this year, it's going to be a lot of questions. But I believe in the Chargers, especially with their new OC, because I know how creative Mike McDaniel is and how he was with the Dolphins. He just didn't have a lot of help because of Tua. But yeah, I do feel like the Chargers can make a push for a playoff spot. And Omarion Hampton is also going to be another key factor. You know, he's coming in his second year as a running back. And if he can hit 1K and put up a good amount of touchdowns or scrimmage yards, they going to be in the playoffs for sure. All right, for my third take, I got the Philadelphia Eagles making the playoffs still. And here's why. I know they got rid of A.J. Brown in the trade to the New England Patriots. I know they lost him. But think about it. They still got solid players on their team on both sides of the ball. They did just hire a new OC in Sean Mannion. I don't know how he operates because I don't really watch the Eagles like that. But all I know is this. I know he'll be an upgrade over Kevin Patullo for sure because Kevin Patullo was not a good offensive coordinator. The plays they were running on offense were very kindergarten. Like, it was a lot of curl routes, a lot of the same slant routes that were too predictable. Like, any defense could read that. But I still believe in the Eagles, even though I hate their fan base. I'm going to be honest. Y'all got a toxic fan base, but I still believe in y'all team. I don't think y'all going to be trash. Like, y'all still have Jalen Hurts, obviously, Super Bowl MVP. Y'all still got Saquon Barkley, who had just had a great season the year prior. He hit 2,000 yards. Y'all still got Smitty. We got to see how Makai Lemon checks out because I know he injured his hamstring. Y'all still got Cooper DeJean, Quinyon. The list goes on and on. Y'all still got Carter. But I feel like if Philly gets enough wins in that division, they're going to make it in. Now, their comp this year is definitely going to be Dallas. Like, I know that they got that rivalry going on, but they still going to be competition. They got to worry about Dallas, but that's really it. Because the Giants, we don't know how they're going to be. They sucked last year. And the Commanders were terrible last year too, but that was mainly because Jayden Daniels was hurt and their defense did not play up to par either. So I feel like if the Eagles just can rack up enough wins, get some wins on under the belt, and they play solid defense and their offense is just a little bit better than last season, I feel like they have a great chance to make the playoffs. So I feel like a lot of people are going to sleep on them and say, oh, they lost people in free agency. They lost Jalen Phillips and AJ, but I feel like they did enough in the draft to like make up for it. So I got the Eagles making the playoffs. All right, for my fourth take, I feel like Joe Burrow will leave the Cincinnati Bengals after the season if they do not make the playoffs. And here is why. This is probably the hottest take because their O-line has not been good. Every single season, it's a question of, oh, are the Bengals going to fix their O-line? Is their O-line going to hold up? And every year, the answer is no. Joe Burrow is sacked a lot, and for a majority of his career, he's been injured because the O-line can't hold their blocks, and the D-line is sacking him in the backfield, like every game. So I feel like this year is a huge year for Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. I also feel like Zach Taylor, that seat is getting hotter and hotter each day. You know, let's make it two hot takes in one. I feel like if Joe Burrow does not make the playoffs this year, then he's going to leave the Cincinnati Bengals, and Zach Taylor is going to be fired easily. Because every year it's, oh, the Bengals have the offense. It's just their defense is terrible, and they allow like 20-plus points per game on defense because they can't stop a parked car. So if the Bengals defense does not play well, even with the additions they made by getting Boye Mafe and Dexter Lawrence in the offseason, then I feel like Joe Burrow is going to have complaints, he's going to have concerns, and he's going to leave the Bengals and go to another team. Just like Carson Palmer did when he wasn't satisfied with how things were going around him. Now, they have the offense, but the biggest question is their defense going to show up? Because last year, they had one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They have Jamar Chase. They have T. Higgins. They have Chase Brown. They have pieces around Joe Burrow. But the question is now, can they do something in the playoffs? Can they make the playoffs? And can they go back to the Super Bowl? That's always going to be the question for the Cincinnati Bengals. So, yeah, that's my hot take. And hopefully they prove me wrong and he don't leave. But I just have a gut feeling that if they don't get it done this year, there's going to be a lot of questions about that franchise. All right, for the final hot take, y'all know I got to do my own team, right? It's only right I got to do something about the Ravens. So with this hot take, I have the Ravens making the AFC Championship in the first year under Jesse Minter, our new AC. And here's why. I know last year Obviously, they're not in the way we wanted to. We know Tyler Loop missed that kick horribly, and we lost to Pittsburgh. But I feel like this year, the team has a different mentality that they did last season. Like, I just feel like, well, not a different mentality, but the vibes are different. I feel like everyone's having way more fun than they did with John Harbaugh, and everyone's just locked in. The chemistry, I mean, it has long ways to go because it's Mentor's first year, and I know it's a completely new team, but I just feel like if Lamar stays healthy for majority of the season and he doesn't have problems with his legs and his hamstring like he did last season, and he's fully protected, then I feel like this Ravens team can go far in the playoffs and Lamar can improve his playoff record because everyone's going to say, oh, Lamar's 3-5, Lamid, LaChoke Jackson, all the jokes. I've heard them myself. But I know one thing, Lamar has a fire lit under him this year that he's never had before because there's a lot of talks about is he going to sign an extension because he didn't sign one this offseason. So this is a big year for the Ravens. Jesse Minter, I mean, he's coming in. He was with the Chargers as a DC. And you know he loves blitzing. He loves sending everybody. He loves sending the whole 11 at defenses, and you know he's going to play man coverage. That's something we weren't doing well last season, playing man coverage. Our guys were backed off a lot because of Zach Orr's defense of play calling, and it wasn't helping us at all. It was just an easy first down for the other team. But I know this year the Ravens are going to come in with a different mentality, different vibes, and they're going to want to go for that Lombardi. Just like every season, they're always contenders. It's just can they do good in the playoffs and can they limit mistakes? They can't have bad turnovers, interceptions, fumbles, the defense not committing turnovers. Everything has to go right for the Ravens this year in order for them to make it. Our schedule is easier, so we should win more games than last season. And I know that Lamar and the rest of the team know that it's crunch time. Lamar's not getting any younger. Derrick Henry's not getting any younger. Players on the team are getting very old, and moves are going to have to be made very soon and the big decisions. So I feel like if the defense just plays better than they did last season, and the offense plays better than they did last season, and we make strides and continue to get better each and every game, and everyone's on the same page, the Baltimore Ravens will go far this year. And I hope and pray to God that they make the Super Bowl. That's all I want to see is Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. I want him to win in the Super Bowl. It's a whole different coaching staff. So I feel like this team should be way better and that the Ravens will go far and make it to the AFC Championship. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my NFL hot take segment. I know I haven't been on here in a while, and you guys haven't seen me for a little while, but I have been working. And every time I get home, I don't know, I just be too tired sometimes to get on here, but I'm gonna get back on the grind. I got y'all. I just gotta get back in that mode and keep grinding. But yeah, I'm gonna post this video on Instagram and YouTube for y'all, so y'all can watch it yourselves. And be sure to comment too. I like seeing comments. I want to hear y'all opinions about what I'll be saying. I know y'all aren't gonna agree with everything I say, but I just want to get my message out there, and I just want y'all to hear what I gotta say about each and every team or every other team. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about like more than just football. I'm gonna talk about baseball, basketball, and other sports, but this is just a video that I've been wanting to drop for a while. And yeah, this has been another episode of DJ Sports Play. My name is Darren, and I'm signing off. See you guys later.